can see we're going already, but I can already see we're going right back to the start of the season. Bruins lose 5-4 in overtime against the New York Islanders. Welcome back down into the den, everybody. And despite the loss, I'm actually not going to say that the Bruins did terrible this game. I think that there was a strong effort in the third period to reverse the trajectory of the game and force overtime. And for what it's worth, the Bruins in overtime were actually really good. But it's the little things. It's the little things that result in Charlie McAvoy being responsible for the 3 goals this game. God damn it. But before we get into lambasting Charlie McAvoy again, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to get caught up on any other stupid things that I end up doing. Because I might do more of those skits. I honestly had a lot of fun doing the Lysell skit. And speaking of Lysell, let's talk about Oliver Wahlstrom. So in this game, the lines were as we've come to know them right now. I think these are settling into be the lines for the future. You got Geeky Zakapasta on the top line, Marshy, Lindholm, and Coyle on the second, Brazo, Frederick, and Wahlstrom on the third, and Kepke, Beecher, Kastelic on the fourth. I think that these are solid lines. Wahlstrom, though. Wahlstrom hasn't been horrible. But there's not really anything there. I think that, and for a guy that you're going to pick up off of waivers, who was playing in the NHL, I would say that you should be in a position. You should probably be demanding a little bit more of him. And what I've seen so far is he has gotten a leash that is. He's gotten a leash that's longer than most players from Providence. Like we've seen. Like last year, we saw Anthony Richard play 9 games here. He also was pretty good when he was here, and after those 9 games, he was just sent back down to languish. Wahlstrom's been here for a while. Wahlstrom's been here for a little bit this season. He's played in several games, and he's just done nothing. There's not really any sort of offense or defense that he's majorly contributing to. He's not a terrible player, but he's not wowing me. And for a player that you're going to claim off of waivers, probably should have a little bit of a wow factor. Like at this point, I would be fine with dropping him to waivers and picking up like Arthur Kaliev, who the Kings just dropped to waivers for some reason, and the entire league allowed them to get away with that. So Wahlstrom, I don't hate, I don't love. I think that third line right wing would be much better suited for if you're going to get Kaliev, put him there, or just bring up Lysell. He was really good in his first game here. Like what are you doing? But we get into the game, and the Bruins come out. Hot, and we get like the only good. We get pretty much the only good play that McAvoy contributes to all game. Forechecks it up to Kastelic, who leads a fourth line drive into the offensive zone, and Kepke gets there. Kepke gets there for the centering pass. It ricochets off his stick blade onto. Hits his shoulder and into the net, and somehow the review is whether or not there's goaltender interference, because he pulls up right before crashing into Sorokin potentially, and I would have meanwhile I would have expected it to be like like that shoulder motion was trying to hit it in with a different part of the body, but the goal stands, and the Bruins end up on the power play because from the failed challenge, which leads to the first goal that McAvoy lets up. Bruins obviously play way too far up on the power play, leading to the drive going the other way. With a 2-on-1, McAvoy is trying to cut off the pass, but really he should have just done the layout thing that defensemen do, because this gets to Bo Horvat with no complications, and he does nothing. And Korpisalo is Joonas Korpisalo is just on an island by himself there. So that kills any sort of momentum that the Bruins have. You could probably argue that the second goal the Islanders scored is also on McAvoy because he couldn't clear the puck, and Barzal just gets it to Anders Lee. But realistically, the Bruins in their own zone suck, like as a collective unit. So I'm not gonna put that on McAvoy. He was bad this game. But that was just a whole team effort. And I know that some people are gonna rip on Korpisalo for this game, and because losing goalie and also losing on a trickle in on a 5-hole trickle, and yeah, realistically, someone like Ullmark probably would have kept that from happening. But again, let's. The Bruins were at an impasse. They needed to get rid of Ullmark, Eric, and I hate to say that, but we can't continuously operate on a comparison to Ullmark figure, especially when Ullmark realistically barely ranks top 5 in Bruins goaltenders all time. Let's be real. It's gonna be Ullmark, Cheever. It's gonna be Ullmark, Cheevers, Thomas, Rask, Brimsek. I say factoring in recency biases if Brimsek didn't play 100 years ago. But let's get to the actual. We can't just constantly operate on a Ullmark wouldn't have let that in. I know. Let's move on. This does nothing productive. This does nothing productive. I miss Ullmark too, but we're gonna judge Korpisalo on his own merits. And honestly, Korpisalo played pretty well. Oh, the Islanders had some really good chances this game, and they just and Korpi. Just like Swayman, is just constantly on an island, and because this Bruins team right now has a really hard time of making other goaltenders look embarrassing. They are the only goaltenders they know how to embarrass are their own. Let's be real. Let's be 100 here. And I'm not even gonna lie, the stuff that Korpi did this game, I would say that he was around the same. I would say that he was around the same productivity as Sorokin, and Sorokin is easily a top 10 goaltender in this league. You're not I would say that Korpisalo was an equal goaltender to Sorokin. It's just that Korpisalo's defense is much worse than Sorokin's. And the absence of Hampus Lindholm is just making everything worse. And the offense doesn't help at all. The offense does not help on the back end at all. And especially this game, the second line, which is unbelievable. It's unbelievable that the second line of Brad Marchand, one of the best defensive forwards that the Bruins have had, not named Patrice Bergeron in a while, and Elias Lindholm, who was a finalist for the Selke a couple years ago. with the repertoire on this second line, it's a miracle that they play so terribly in their own end. And I think the biggest example of this happening all season is easily last night, where the Bruins had like 3 goals scored on them on on breakaways. Yes. Do you think any self-respecting team has a defense that is so bad? Has a defense and offense that are so non-committal to playing defense that they allow 3 goals on breakaways? This is what are you talking about? Then we get to the second. And Enders Lee goal, which was the Charlie McAvoy moment. And he pins Anders Lee to the end boards, allowing Carlo to gather the puck. Carlo gives it away because Carlo's weakest skill is puck possession, and McAvoy in that time loses Lee, who skates out in front of him and blasts it, and McAvoy breaks his stick over the crossbar. You have no one but yourself to blame, McAvoy. And you're being paid $9.5 million a year for the next 6 years to defend your net, to defend your side of the ice, not allow 3 goals on a night and throw a tantrum. The head flying off is symbolic for how you've lost your mind. Charlie, find it. You've lost your mind. Find it. But the Bruins, they do show some heart. Near the end stretch, you do get 2 really good goals from Pastrnak, and I will reiterate, Pastrnak is having a good year. He was struggling really early on. He was struggling really early on, and we were seeing him put up the most shots on goal of any player, and have the worst shooting percentage of his entire year. I think 20 games in or so, he had 150 shots on goal, and was shooting a 9. There was a point where he had 150 shots on goal and is only shooting a 9.8%, which is that's the worst shooting percentage he's had in his career. But now I think that he's doing a lot better now. 2 straight games with 2 goals. Well, love to see that. Love to see back-to-back multiple goal games after going nearly half the season without a single multiple goal game. And that grit gets us back to overtime, where the Bruins are doing everything. They are crashing the net. They are putting every bit of pressure that you could possibly put on Ilya Sorokin. Marchand puts it on net. The rebound squirts out past him, and he just does not have the juice to keep up with Horvat. Horvat goes right to net, and there's the trickle. So the Bruins lose a tough game, but showing the heart to actually come from 2 goals down to force overtime. That's admirable. That's admirable. The biggest frustration that we all had with Montgomery is the fact that this team was playing so high above their level that they did not know how to properly play with a deficit. So that's actually one thing that I will say I have noticed in the Sacco era, and I super appreciate, is that this team now knows how to play with it. Knows how to play when the chips are down. So yeah, tough loss, but it's still tough loss. But I'm still not pissed at this whole team. I still think McAvoy is frustrating as hell, but it's a lot better than what it could It's a lot better than what it could have been. And that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.